Green Hill, this is Judge Harris. I will be right back. I need to go find out why the court reporter hasn't chimed in yet. So I'm not going anywhere permanently. I'm just stepping to make sure we get our ducks in a row, okay?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I think I see what's going on. All right, everyone, I apologize. I don't know what happened with the Zoom. Mr. Greenhill and I have been on here for quite a while, and I wasn't seeing anyone else in the waiting room, and all of a sudden I looked and it showed 6 or 7 people in the waiting room. So I can't explain it, but anyway. Don't see Mr. Myers or anyone from his firm. Does anyone know if he was going to appear today? Mr. Medley, you're muted.
I was having trouble connecting with audio.
Yes.
I did speak with Robert yesterday when we were in court, and he said he would follow our lead on this.
All right.
Whitney ISD, and therefore Whitney ISD and Hill County do not agree with the motion, but also we are not contesting the motion either. So we leave it up to the court's discretion.
All right. I've read the petition or motion for new trial. Mr. Brown, you're one of the few people that seems to remember strike mine and Craddock in those cases that some of us still remember. You're muted as well, Mr. Brown.
Okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir.
I was saying I was not around at the time of Craddock in 1938, but I was close. So
Well,
I also filed a brief yesterday, Your Honor, and that brief sets forth my arguments and authorities.
okay.
And if the court wants, I can go over what's in the brief, or I can just incorporate that as my arguments and authority if you and Mr. Medley have had an opportunity to go over that.
I
whichever
haven't
you
seen
want.
the brief, Your Honor, but I see no reason to go over it.
Okay. I'm Miss Crane. I'm not sure what your role is here, so let me bring you into it as well.
I was the ad litem in the underlying case, and I was noticed, and I didn't know if I needed to be here or not. So, and it
No.
was Zoom, it's not that difficult to appear.
Sure. No, I understand.
Your Honor, we have filed a petition to appoint a receiver and partition the property and have a receiver sale. And I believe if the court grants the motion for new trial and we proceed on that petition, we will have to have an ad litem to for any unknown errors.
All right. As I said, I reviewed the motion together with the sworn statement of Mr. Greenhill. I think out of an abundance of caution, the court will grant the motion for new trial. I do know that the way properties are selling around here, I've seen properties seem like sell now at tax sales for more than what I think they would have brought on the open market. And it used to be we couldn't hardly give them away at tax sales. But that being the case, sounds like this is maybe a long-term family property or something, and it looks like it would maybe be most appropriate in light of the fact that Mr. Greenhill doesn't believe he was served with that petition intervention to set the matter aside. I will, because of course the taxing authorities need to be paid, I want us to move as quickly as possible on the partition side of it, because otherwise they will, have to be right back in here seeking a judgment. The most important thing to them is just that they be paid. So I'll depend on you, Mr. Brown, to push that. I will, if you'll send me an order reappointing Ms. Crane as the attorney ad litem for the unknown heirs, if any, of this property, so that she can be aware of who she's dealing with. Then we'll try to move as quickly as possible on that.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a proposed order in the file.
Right.
I don't know if Mr. Medley or Mr. Myers has had an opportunity to review it. I sent it to them, but
Right.
I not understand that.
We have reviewed it, Your
Had
Honor.
up elsewhere.
As stated, we do not necessarily agree, but we
Right.
are contesting, so we would have no problem with you signing it without our signatures.
All right. And did you all incur any expenses that you need to be reimbursed for in taking that judgment?
Not at present, Your Honor.
All right. That sounds reasonable to me. Ms. Crane, is that reasonable to you?
Your Honor,
Yes,
we
Your Honor.
would ask that her ad litem fees, which were incurred in the tax case,
Yes.
also be paid in addition to whatever ad litem fee she earns in the receivership.
Yes. I have assigned her $450 in reasonable necessary ad litem fees as to the underlying matters. I will tax those as cost, and in order that paid out of the partition sale, together with any other fees that she may incur going forward on behalf of these unknown heirs.
Your Honor, I will be filing a motion to appoint as receiver Mr. Kelly R. Crawford.
Okay.
And of course, the other side, the plaintiff and the intervener may investigate him and decide whether or not they are agreeable to him as a receiver. I have dealt with Mr. Crawford on a prior case that was similar to this. I have no personal or professional relationship with him, but he handled that receivership in a competent manner, and so I have some confidence in him. But of course, Mr. Medley and Mr. Myers certainly, and Ms. Crane certainly have the right to have some input. If they have an alternative receiver, that's fine. We'll talk about that.
All right. I can tell you that there's another, if that doesn't work out, there's another gentleman here by the name of Tim McGinty. If you remember, a couple of years ago, there was a lady partially sucked out of a Southwest Airlines flight. Mr. McGinty was the one who was, unfortunately, she was deceased, but he was the one that was holding her in the plane to keep her from being
Oh,
sucked out.
gosh.
And anyway, he has done a lot of these receiverships for me, and he doesn't charge the receiver's fee and then have to pay a commission. He just charges a straight 7% sales commission, as opposed to the in and out business and all that. So they're depending. You might want to talk to Mr. The other gentleman about if you'd save any money there. He's been able to get some. He's a real estate agent locally and has been able to bring some top dollars on some properties I wasn't sure would sell. So there's another option if the other gentleman doesn't work out.
Is he located in Hill County?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he would have an advantage over Kelly because Kelly's in Dallas County, and I've talked to him. He's not familiar with property there, so probably Mr.
Yes.
Yeah.
McGinty would be,
Yes.
assuming my client and the other parties are agreeable.
I think you'd be happy with him.
Okay.
So
In the interest of cost savings and of local knowledge of the market, we would certainly not object to Mr. McGinty.
okay. All right. Well, then I guess we'll appoint Mr. McGinty if he's able to do it. Mr. Brown, if you will, I'll find his phone number. I don't have it off the top of my head, but if you'll call the office at 254-582-4045, I'll get his phone number for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You all have a nice afternoon, a nice weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm the court reporter for today.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And
I need to visit with you.
yes, sir. So
Yeah.
don't hang up.
I won't. After everyone else is gone, I'll introduce.
Thank you, Judge.
So everyone.
Okay, we can leave the meeting now.
Yes. And let me stop the live